Good morning. Thanks for tuning in to On the Air with Eric Thompson. I am your host, Eric Thompson. Today is the 22nd of December. Obviously, yesterday was the 21st of December, which was our winter solstice. This was our longest night of the year, and we are enjoying the last probably hour or so of darkness now. It is about 6:15 in the morning, but it's the day when I guess autumn in the northern hemisphere turns into winter. So I guess today is the first day of winter, so happy winter and all those sorts of things. I don't know if you took the time to notice last night, in addition to it being the longest night of the year, we had a fantastic full moon. She was beautiful hanging up in the sky. It was pretty amazing. Anyway, I hope you got a chance to see that, and I understand that we are going to have a meteor shower that may be visible to the naked eye. So if you get a chance to get out under clear skies, make sure you take a look at the heavens. A lot of cool stuff happening out there for the stargazers. Anyway, this is our first podcast. Would be more of what I would consider a dispatch than a normal show. We have no guest at 6 a.m. this morning, but in future shows we hope to have some interesting guests and those sorts of things. But we'll get into that later. I think we'll check out maybe some of the headlines and just kind of see what's going on in the world around us and that sort of thing. So, if you've had a chance, I mentioned a while ago that I'm podcasting from downtown Conroe. This is it's a cool area and a cool time to be down here. It has a revitalization of this town, this area of town. A lot of cool stuff happening down here. I know just a few days ago, I believe on Wednesday, the Pacific Yard House. Well, you may hear our thin-walled studio and the traffic going by behind us, and Johnny Yahoo with no muffler. But anyway, down the way, the Pacific Yard House got a big award. I think it was awarded like a music venue type thing. I'll get into that in just a second. Let's take a look at just some local stories really quick, and then we'll hop into some national, international. We'll just look at some of the headlines, whatever's interesting. We're going to have a bass tournament. That's kind of fun. Let's see what that's about. It says that, what does it say? This is in the Impact community newspaper. It says Lake Conroe to host a big bass tournament, major fishing tournament. And when is that going to be? Oh, okay. It says director, who is it? Shannon Overby has said that on the December 12th workshop, she said that it's going to bring in about $420,000 of direct spending. So that'll be fun. I don't know when it's coming, but anyway, we'll look forward to that. So enough of all of that. In addition, let's see what else has happened in Conroe. It says that a whole bunch of dogs were attacking sheep somewhere out on 2854, and they rescued some sheep and horses, so that's kind of tough. And let's see what is shaking around town if you want to get out in the next few days. Last night on the 21st, there was all kinds of stuff, but we are now on the 22nd. So it says tonight at Southern Star Brewery, you can sing karaoke. I think DJ Phil, he may be a cousin of Dr. Phil, I'm not sure, but he's scheduled to be there from 7 to 9 at Southern Star Brewery. That is at 3525 North Fraser, and you can give them a jingle if you have any questions, because I'm clueless. That is 936-441-2739, and you can see them online at www.southernstarbrewing.com. So check that out. Have a good time out there. Tell them you heard it at Eric's podcast. Actually, you could call it by name, On the Air with Eric Thompson. And then, let's see, what else is happening? There's some kind of buffet this morning from 9 to 11 at Incredible Pizza. I think Santa's going to be over there. You can check that out. And B52, we like the beer brewers. They seem to have a lot going on. Oh, that's on the 26th. That's right. So the day after Christmas, B52 Brewing and Rolling Local Food Carts are pairing up with, and they're doing some chocolate and cheese with hand-picked flights of brews. I don't know. Check them out. It's from noon to 10 p.m. Entry's free. You can see them at 12470 Milroy Lane. That's Milrow Lane in Conroe. That's B52 Brewing. You can catch them on the phone at 936-447-4677. So there's some to-do stuff around if you're looking what to do over the holiday. Let's see what's happening. So in some local news, what do we got going on? Well, let's check out. Well, I was checking out just some headlines. It seems, you remember that guy who tore down the poster in Korea? Then he was held for all this time, and they sent him back, and he was all beat up and had, I don't know, all kinds of health issues, and he winds up dying like 3 days later. It seems now his parents are suing North Korea for $1 billion. I wish them all the luck in the world in collecting that one. And what's another big headline? Oh yeah, Congress. It seems that they could not reach a bill on the wall spending. So seems like yesterday they were not into it and just decided not to do their job and not come up with a spending bill. So it seems that we have a partial shutdown. I think I was reading earlier, I think they're talking about some of the national parks, and some people are going to get some late checks and all that sorts of thing. Basically, I wonder if Congress is getting any of their late checks. I'd have liked to see them stay there through the Christmas holiday, but if they thought they weren't going home for Christmas, they could have come to some happy little agreement on that. But one thing that I did find interesting was in the Ukraine parliament. They handled it slightly different. It seems that a complete fist fight broke out. It was a good one, too. I don't mean a little one. These weren't like little people spatting each other. These dudes were throwing serious punches. And it's cool seeing people in sports jackets going at it. Yeah, with bald spots in their heads, man. They ought to put this stuff. This is great. You got to look this up. Check out the Ukrainian lawmakers brawl in parliament. I don't know what it was about, but they were beating the crap out of each other. That's good stuff. So maybe we ought to try that. I don't know, man. Maybe the Dems and Republicans ought to meet in the aisle and throw some punches and see the way it turns out, you know? I don't know. All right, just maybe that's wishful thinking in the juvenile 16-year-old that kind of runs my sense of humor. But I don't know. Let's see. What else is happening? Oh, okay, here's some international stuff, kind of random stuff that's interesting to me. It seems that, remember way back in the day, there was a FARC. It was a revolutionary armed group in Colombia. There were some rebels, and they were, they kind of operated, actually they operated in conjunction with Pablo back in the day. I think he used them for some, I don't know, I forget what how the story goes, but it's something like security or in the jungle or whatever. But it seems like that Walter Patricio Gacho Ariazala Vernaza, one of the most notorious FARC leaders, he had broken off into a splinter group and kind of went back to doing paramilitary stuff. And it seems like they shot him yesterday. So they got him. He was credited, or at least charged with, the killing of two journalists in Ecuador. It was the El Comercio newspaper or something like that. I think the journalists' names were Javier Ortega and Paul Rivas. And I think in addition, their driver, Efraim Segarra. Those three, they were abducted in March, and I don't know when they were killed, but it seems like, anyways, tough time, but looks like you live by the sword, you die by the sword. So there's that. But I don't think, even though they killed the guy, I don't think the hostages are back. I think they're either dead or still in captivity, so whatever. Then meanwhile, on the international front, I see that Catalonia, that is a province of Spain, is clashing with Barcelona. They're seeking independence, so that's kind of interesting. Talk about a states' rights sort of thing. So, it's kind of interesting because places like Kosovo, in places like Chechnya, and places like Palestine, and they all have to do on the international stage for other breakaway regions. So, they set precedents, and now you see right in the middle of Europe, it was now Catalonia, and for a while it seemed the ETA group in the Basque region was also kind of going off. So you see that Spain, having suffered a lot of economic woes, and seems like it is a time where some independence movements are alive and well and rearing their heads. So we'll keep an eye on that. I like to watch these. It says Catalonians have held tight to their dreams of independence despite Madrid completely and repeatedly clamping down on the region's attempts to break away from Spain. So they were hurling smoke bombs at the police, and there's a couple fights and that sort of thing, but the people were in the streets, and it's a big deal. So that's kind of interesting. Looks like Europe is not immune to new republics emerging and breaking apart, and I'm sure the powers that be want to keep it just how it is, and the people in the street would like to see it like something else, and so the worm turns. We'll watch it. On the national front, it seems, let's see, CNN was reporting that Trump plans to, the headline is, Trump plans to make more people work for food stamps. Is that a bad thing or is that a good thing? I don't never know. Or is it just a thing? It says, if Congress won't make more food stamp recipients work for their benefits, the Trump administration will. The U.S. Department of Agriculture unveiled a proposed rule Thursday that would expand work requirements in the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, as the food stamp program is formally known. So I think Trump has some folks going to work. I also saw, and I'll see if I can bring it up, but they had massive people hopping off the rolls too. So I guess if you're going to have to go down there and do something, it made you maybe do some reflection on your own situation and whatever. But it did see a lot of people jumping off the rolls, and that's interesting. We'll keep an eye on that one as well. What else is happening out there that might be fun? Oh yeah, okay. So here's the thing. So have you seen the guy who? It's an Air Force veteran, and he started a GoFundMe page to personally seek private donations to build the U.S. border wall, and the dude has collected like $13 million as of yesterday afternoon. So that would have been on Friday. He did like $13 million. It's pretty amazing. So who knows how that's going to go? And there's no word how that works, or if he can, if they can just going to gift it to Trump, or hand it in an envelope or a check, or are they going to go out there and buy bricks, or I don't know. But anyway, that's as a development, that is nothing like put your money where your mouth is type of thing. But dude has $13 million worth of support for him from private donations to build a wall. Interesting stuff. Okay, so this is one that hits near and dear to me, as I'm a big proponent of CBD. It says that this is on the AP News. It says that the FDA casts shadows on hemp win. I know if you were following the Farm Bill earlier this year, it kind of paved the way for regulated hemp production in the United States. And but the FDA, it says, now calling CBD products illegal. What a bunch of crap. All right, let me just read it without my commentary just now. It says that the hemp industry still has work ahead to win legal status for hemp-derived cannabinol, or CBD oil, as an ingredient in food or dietary supplements, despite the big farm bill that President Trump signed this week. It designates hemp as an agricultural product. It seems that I guess they're making some kind of distinction between the agricultural product of the hemp fiber and then the derived benefits from the oil, the CBD oil, that are becoming very popular across the United States, from everything from lotion to tinctures. You'll see it in gummies and foods. I use it daily, every day. I couldn't get by without it. This is Eric talking. I really recommend a full spectrum hemp oil. I think that I think we're yet to continue to see the benefits of it. I noticed a difference from an anxiety standpoint. I also feel like I just generally heal faster, trying to stay active in middle years. I'll be 50 in a few months, and been using CBDs for as long as I can remember. Anyway, but it says that the legal status has been made murky by the FDA, and they've sent warning letters to some companies making health claims. Now, that's true with everything. You get some companies making crazy claims that are unsubstantiated, and that's what they do. Is the FDA sends people cease and desist letters about snake oil all the time. Doesn't mean that CBD is in some way, less effective or not a great cure. I think it's more that they just can't get a handle on how to make all the money. In a statement following Thursday's bill signing in Washington, Commissioner, what is his name, Gautier, he basically restated the agency's stance that CBD is a drug ingredient and therefore illegal to add to food or health products without approval from his agency. And he said, in a quote, selling unapproved products with unsubstantiated therapeutic claims is not only a violation of the law, but also can put patients at risk, as these products have not been proven to be safe or effective. That's fine, but let's say you do not make unsubstantiated claims. Let people take control of their own health care, do their own research, like anything from echinacea to any other kind of herbal substance tea that people take. Like, if you take away any of the claims, let people do their own research and come to their own choices about their own health care. Yeah, that guy can, what a jackass. All right, and for you that don't know, CBD, it's a non-psychoactive substance. You cannot get high on CBD. It's found in hemp, a version of the cannabis plant, and they traditionally have a very low THC value, so that there's not really the type of thing that somebody would smoke to get high, but it's still very rich in the CBD, which does lower anxiety, helps a huge swath of ailments. So there, you know, and when I say ailments, I'm talking stuff, everything from seizures to nausea to, you know, anxiety-driven disorders, and a lot of people have been able to get off, you know, all those drugs that say, you know, cause suicide, goes to high schools and shoot the place up kind of drugs. Yeah, your kid would probably be a lot better if he was taking CBD. So, in any event, don't give up on it. I'm hoping that somehow that we can get one cohesive federal strategy for marijuana, so that you don't have people either migrating simply because the state next door has a sane policy when it comes to people taking their own health care in their own hands, and there's no problem getting, you know, oxycodone any place. You can go fake a doctor's visit, but by God, if you wanted to use an herb that you could grow yourself, Lord, you're the devil, and pretty sure we need to put your ass in jail. So I hope that one day we get a sane policy that's across the board and across all the states. All right, enough said about that. Oh, have you seen the one where the FBI agent got, this is in Denver, he's kind of dancing in a bar. I guess, you know, he's in a bar. I'm assuming that he's consuming alcohol. He does, I think, a backflip. His pistol goes off, and he shoots a guy. Yeah. And it says that he's not going to do any jail time, but they're going to give him 2 years probation. And they say he's got to pay like $1,600 in fine. Now, let me ask you a question. Let's say, hypothetically, I was in a bar. We'll just say Denver. And, hell, we'll just say the name of the bar. It was Mile High Spirits and Distillery. And I went and did a backflip. My gun falls out, hits the floor, shoots the FBI agent who's sitting across the bar. You think I would go to jail? Come on, man. What kind of bogus stuff is this? I'm not saying, you know, he meant to do it, but damn, dude, you got a loaded weapon and you're doing backflips. Come on. Try to, you know, shit. Anyway, I guess he pleaded guilty to a second-degree assault, which you could get up to 16 years in prison by Denver laws or Colorado laws. But this guy is going to serve out his probation in Georgia. He was on Denver on a business trip. He was off duty at the time of the shooting, but he's on a business trip armed in a bar doing backflips. That's what our modern G-man is doing in his spare time these days. So, oh shit, there's video of it online. Oh, you got to check. I didn't even know there was video of it. That's worth seeing. His name is Tom Reddington. And, no, that's the guy who was shot. The guy who shot was named, said he's done months of physical therapy, but man, yeah, I don't know. But check that story out. It's worth it. The dancing FBI agent, and the FBI agent's name was Chase Bishop. He was 30 years old doing backflips loaded to the gills and loaded for bear with his personal firearm. So there's that. Okay. What else is shaking? It says, oh, here's a little story, back to a local home story. I was checking this story. It says Conroe ISD is expected to add more than 13,500 students by 2028. So in 10 years, another 13,000 students. Whoa, man, that's a lot of whoa. So does that mean? I mean, think about the number of graduates that CISD is going to be putting out. That is amazing and something pretty interesting. Okay, what else do we have? Anything that I would think that you might be interested in that I would like to share? I don't know. Oh, okay, so here's one. Now, I saw that Denmark has a novel approach. I know that everybody's spun on one way or the other about the wall, but Denmark has, when asylum seekers come to Denmark, and for some reason they are not granted the asylum, but they can't go home, they are now going to be put out on an island, which this says they put them out there on the island. It's a tiny island. And this is actually set to be approved by the Danish Parliament. They don't have to go home, but they can't stay in Denmark. Kind of a novel approach. Pretty straightforward, but we'll see. And what else? Do I want to go back down the reefer rabbit hole again, or I don't want to wait a second? All right, so I'll just give it to you. So this is out of Forbes. It says, this is one of my hot buttons. It says, there is a lot of anticipation on the cannabis front right now in 2019 as it approaches. There's a lot of pot advocates, and they're confident that this year could be a big year. They think that Congress is going to step up and legalize marijuana nationwide, maybe even before next Christmas. Okay, this is the buzz. And so here's what you have. I think there was a signing of the Farm Bill that I touched on recently before the jackass made the CBD announcement. But in any event, he doesn't make policy. It's just one dude at a place talking smack. So we know about the Farm Bill that I spoke of early in 2018, where the president basically said that they're going to have a regulated system allowing hemp cultivation as part of a, what do they call it, a plow and pick repertoire. And that is some evidence that the from the top, the view and stance on marijuana. You may be able to hear the train in the background. We are right up against the Pacific Rail line. They come rolling through here fairly often, and Studio 4 is graced with the thinnest of walls. So, in any event, yeah. So what we're hoping, and I am in favor of it, is kind of a national stance on marijuana policies. But what's happening now is, I think that the next step to get a huge portion of the electorate is going to be about who champions the legalization of marijuana, or at least the decriminalization or medical marijuana, some kind of larger all-inclusive federal policy. I know that certain states in a states' rights situation are still going to be in control of their own local stuff, I would think, under the plan, but at least have the federal ability to have those referendums and let the people speak in different localities is what I hope happens. But nonetheless, so I believe that the Democrats may be in a race to try to take credit for this while they have the majority of some houses, because if they don't, Trump may use it in a re-election bid and use it for, hey, here is what I'm willing to do. So I think, and I might just be wishfully, blissfully, keeping my fingers crossed, but here's what I think. I think that there is going to be a block of voters. It is going to be the Marijuana Liberation Front, I just made that up, but I think that they are going to have to be sought after and courted by someone, by one party, and I think that it may be a race to see who those are. So we'll see how that happens, and I think also the Democrats maybe try to jump ahead and steal this contingent of voters from Trump, because if not, I suspect that it will be a plank in Trump's 2020 re-election bid for the President of the United States. So, yeah, so there's that. So we'll keep our fingers crossed for all of that. Okay, here is something. This was probably one of the craziest stories of the year, at least for me. I saw that this morning I think Bitcoin has what I think this morning we woke up and Bitcoin has fallen below 4,000. What is it right now? We'll see. Yeah. So Bitcoin falls below 4,000. And a year ago, Bitcoin was, let's see, a 1 year spectrum. I'm looking at a graph right now to try to give me some of this information. 1 year ago, Bitcoin was at, holy cow, a year ago it was at $13,943, and then it went up as high as 16.8 in late January. So it was on an upward trend between 13 up to 16,000, and that was about 1 year ago. Bitcoin has taken that was during the height of the blockchain craze. The popularity was going off. I'm sure there's huge amounts of speculation for what caused those heady heights. But Bitcoin has dropped all the way down to this morning. Bitcoin weighs in at $3,909.85. So it has dropped from basically $10,000 per Bitcoin. So I don't know, but it does seem, though, strangely, it seems like Bitcoin has stayed relatively, I don't know, from July to about now for the last 6 months. It's well, I wouldn't really say that. 6,000, and then now it's kind of on a downward trend. It's falling off. I would say since around Thanksgiving, we've seen it just continue to fall. Does it rise back up? I don't know, but it's interesting to watch. But a story of the year, there was money made and money lost on that kind of fluctuation of Bitcoin. I don't know that Bitcoin is the end-all, be-all when it comes to cyber currency, but my own opinion is that if you don't look at it as when I say it, I don't mean Bitcoin specifically, but I mean blockchain cryptocurrencies. If you don't look at them as a unit of currency, but as a unit of decentralized banking, where there are no fees, where there is no bank, where there are no, it's a much peer-to-peer pay system that I don't think we're done with it. I think that maybe Bitcoin has kind of leveled out, and the craze is over, and people are understanding it for what it is, and the novelty is worn off. But I'm a big believer in the future of blockchain currencies, and keep an eye on Bitcoin. This may be a great investment opportunity, or we may see it kind of flatten out in something like, finally gold took a wild ride for a while, but it flattened out at about $1,200 an ounce, and it seems like it's been there forever. So anyway, there's just a little Bitcoin insight, and we'll keep an eye on that as we do future shows, because I like just to watch it. Kind of interesting to me. It says, and then on the being in the energy corridors, they sometimes refer to the woodlands in Montgomery County area. It seems that global oil prices, they are tumbling, and are as low as we've seen them in like 14 months, I believe. I know that it said that a lot of investors were dumping stocks and amid concerns of slowing growth. So there's that. Anyway, I was hoping to be able to give you a big quick number like I knew what it was. There it is. It says, there we are. It says that contracts for January delivery are at $47.23 per barrel, and that is the lowest since September of 2017, and that is down almost 40%, 38% from their recent October peak. So oil, I know that's tough. It's great for gas prices in the U.S. as they've fallen about 13% during the month of November. But for us who depend on it to keep our economy going, could go either way. It's not the best news in the world. So hang in there. If your employment and your fortune have to do with the price of oil, I hang in there. We're all thinking about you. What do we want to see here? Anything interesting? I saw Ann Coulter. Man, so this is an interesting. Ann Coulter, she is a a conservative pundit, columnist, talking head. She's interesting, and she almost seems to the right of President Trump. And she is now saying that he is a do-nothing president if he can't get that wall built. So it seems like people from both sides of this issue are pushing pretty hard for their point of view. So again, Ann Coulter kind of calling the president weak and without a spine if he can't get that wall built. So we'll see how that goes. What else, man? What do we have going on here? Let's bounce back some Conroe news. Something good and fun. What is it? Let's look. Not dead sheep. We've already done dead sheep, and I think we're past that. We've talked about Trump. I want some positive news. I don't want to talk about car crashes and blah humbug. Here's one. Firefighters save 100 snakes, lizards from a fire. What would they do there? A reptile-filled house. Holy cow, where was that? Officials are investigating, and this is in the Courier. All right, they're saying officials are investigating what have sparked a house fire that jeopardized the lives of 100 snakes and killed at least a couple of lizards in a reptile-filled house. Caney Creek firefighters reported a large blaze coming from River Plantation subdivision, and I guess they had a lot of stuff in there. I wonder if that was a business. I wonder if that was a business or somebody was just kind of like a lizard freak. I don't know. I don't mean to call you a lizard freak if you're out there. I just I have a limited vocabulary, and it was the first thing that came to mind. And really, free speech isn't what I do in the first damn place. Okay. Maybe I'm just out of stuff to say here. Yeah, are we done with the news? Have we just squeezed out what we're? Let's see, man. We can squeeze something more out. Want to hear some crazy stuff? Maybe we'll get a little more crazy stuff about the news, politics, media, world. Nah, I'm done here. Listen, here's the thing. It is. We have 3 days until Christmas. You still have. If you got some shopping you need to do, go do the shopping that you have to do. But the main thing is, don't wait till the last second. If there's some people out there that you love, and I have some of these too, people that I need to contact that are good people that I haven't in a long time, that is one of my coming New Year's resolutions, to contact the people that have been good to me and that have loved me, that I have just fallen out of contact with for no particular reason other than life just gets time to get away. Take a minute, tell the people that you can that you love them. If you can't be with your loved ones, reach out to them, and then if not, be sure and understand their absence if they can't be there. Merry Christmas to everyone. Maybe we'll put out something between now and then, but if not, no worries. I'm hoping that I will see you before 2019 starts. I had mentioned earlier that we have a lot of really cool guests that I'm really excited about sharing with you guys. Again, we're still in the dark hours of the summer solstice of 2018, the longest night of the year. It seems like I'm just starting to see the sun crest, so I'm going to hop off and watch this night end. I really appreciate you joining us again. Stay tuned for later episodes of On the Air with Eric Thompson, and I hope that you'll take a minute if you appreciate what's going on here, you like the format, and I'll really appreciate it if you'll give us a like, a thumbs up, and all that kind of stuff, and I'll see you around. Thanks for tuning in. Try to act right. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. I'll be seeing you. Hey, if you've made it this far in the program, consider giving us a like and a subscribe. It means a whole lot to us, and in the Christmas spirit, it would be a gift from you to me, and I'll really appreciate it. Thanks again. Stay tuned. We've got a lot of great guests coming up. Enjoy your holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.